Hello, you're listening to Hugo Talk. So I'm going to look into this tweet, this meme tweet from Elon Musk, going to analyze it in two different ways. First from a everyday way and then from a biblical prophecy way, and see if we can draw any parallels between the two. So first up, let's look at it with no biblical perspective, okay? So here we see Elon Musk posts, then deletes a meme showing him, Trump and Kanye West as the three musketeers, each with their own social network. This is the image here. So we have Musk, Trump, Kanye West, in my opinion, three puppets who are now seen as the owners, the figureheads of these three social media sites. Now it's interesting, isn't it? Trump and his Truth Media was set up as an alternative to Twitter. Parler is the same, it's an alternative. So now if this pans out like it looks it will do, these three who go by this image are all together, yeah? Not only do they own the main social media, Twitter, but also the alternatives that were set up to be the opposition to Twitter. Like I said before, the establishment own all of these social media sites. So, what's the alternative now to these ones? Now, as I said before, these three people are, in my opinion, actors, puppets, frontmen for the establishment. Do they really own these platforms, or are they placing these faces as the owners of these platforms to encourage more trust in these social media sites, give them a face, attract the crowd that are more rebellious, who question what is going on? I think these three people are manufactured images in the media now. We've got the pretend Christian Trump, the whole MAGA, New Age QAnon mind control gobbledygook that goes along with him, that unfortunately so many people still follow. Why, I don't know. Then we have Elon Musk, who is supposedly the richest man in the world, which I think again is all nonsense, who fronts organizations that state they want to upload your consciousness into the cloud and stick microchips in your brain. And then Kanye West, another pretend Christian in my opinion, and one of the most famous black celebrities, hangs out with Satanists and proclaims himself to be a god, which he did in 2013 in a song. I mean, come on, look at these three. You couldn't find a trio of more material, uber greedy, egotistical, messiah complex, god complex, selfish control freaks if you wanted to. And we must remember this is the image that is represented to us through the media. Whether or not these people are what they claim to be, all the media cares about is what the masses think. And this is the image that people have been sold by the fake stream media. And now these puppets are being placed as the figureheads of these social media platforms in order to encourage people to sign up to them. So here we see this image as them as the three musketeers crossing their swords. And the phrase, you've got that phrase, haven't you, from the Three Musketeers, one for all for one, which is a very Freemason-like rallying call, a band of brothers, a fraternity, all working together. If you see the names of their respective social media platforms at the bottom of the swords, we've got Elon Musk having X, which is the name he is looking to change Twitter to, which I talked about before. X is what Musk says will be like China's WeChat, which is, guess what? China's WeChat is an all-in-one social media, banking and social credit score, 24/7 monitoring, the digital trap. So, it's interesting that they put that there instead of Twitter. So you're looking at the controlled opposition taking over the social media platforms and declaring we are all together. And the message with the image, it says here, in retrospect, it was inevitable. This is not the first time Elon Musk has used this phrase. He also used it once when talking about Bitcoin, digital currency, which of course they will all be pushing sooner or later. It's crazy really and sad to think that people actually believe that these establishment connected puppets are leading the charge to freedom or free speech, when in reality they are pushing and leading astray many of those who are resistant to the New World Order. They are actually pushing that demographic harder into the digital trap more than any other demographic. And you can see that they have chosen these three because they all have a slightly different audience, right? You've got Musk to appeal to a techie crowd, Trump to the MAGA crowd, anti-jab crowd, even though he is the father of the vaccine, as he calls himself. Don't know where their brains are. And Kanye West to the black Christian crowd. And of course, they are all mates. So again, they form a circle of cross-promotion, which is what all CEO networks do. You couldn't get better examples, these three people, of more obvious examples of false apostles. False apostles being people who masquerade as Christian leaders and get other people to follow them and then lead them astray. I mean, look at how much they worship money, what they buy, how they self-aggrandize themselves, idolize themselves. I mean, Trump Tower. I mean, come on. Obvious false apostles. And remember what I said in my last video. If all of these people are one, then all of these apps will be created so that they can all be combined at a later date. Okay? Now let's look at this now from a biblical prophecy angle. I see some people talking about this online, but there are a few extra things I'd like to add. Now check this passage from the book of Revelation, the apocalyptic book of the New Testament. Now you must remember that the book of Revelation is symbolic, right? It's metaphorical, it's allegorical. And I'm not saying that this is linked to this image and these people, but you know, it's interesting, okay? So first off, I'll read this Revelation 16:12-14. 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, and the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. 13. And I saw three unclean spirits, like frogs, come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. 14. For they are the spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to battle of that great day of God Almighty. Okay, now first up, it talks of the great river Euphrates and the water drying up. Well, this was 6 days ago in the news. Religious leaders believe that the recent drying up of the Euphrates River is a sign of end of days. And this from 3 weeks ago. Twilight of the Tigris, Iraq's mighty river drying up. It says here it was the river that is said to have watered the biblical Garden of Eden and helped give birth to civilization itself. So we have the Euphrates River drying up, which has happened before, but it sorts itself out. But this time they are claiming that it's the CC33, of course, but nevertheless, this was reported a week or so ago. So you've got that Revelation 16:12, and then following that we have 16:13. So we have the Euphrates River drying up. It's in the news a few weeks back. And the next line is, and I saw three unclean spirits, like frogs, come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. So Euphrates River drying up, and we see these three people in this image, all of them seemingly taking over these three social media companies which are used for communication. Okay, it says three unclean spirits coming out of the beast, coming out of the dragon. Okay, the dragon is thought to be Satan. Now, some people believe that Satan in the Bible is described as the prince of the power of the air, which is detailed in Ephesians 2:2. So let's say that these three unclean spirits in this revelation are, say, Trump, Musk, and Kanye West, as shown in this image. And these three are coming out of the mouth of the beast, of the dragon. And the dragon is Satan, and Satan is the prince and power of the air. Well, that would describe communications, the internet, communications across the internet. The Wi-Fi, through the air, social media platforms are used to communicate messages. Okay, but it also says, and I saw three unclean spirits like frogs. So, like frogs. Well, again, I'm not saying this is the case, but the first thing that came into my mind is the meme, Pepe the Frog. Now, this meme has been around since 2005, so 17 years. It's a long time, okay? It's synonymous with what they call the alt-right movement. I'm not into all this left-right crap, but nevertheless, Pepe the Frog is synonymous with the alt-right, which all of these three are now associated with. I mean, Trump tweeted images of himself as Pepe the Frog. And if all of these three people are aligned, then they are all alt-right. And Pepe the Frog is a symbol of the alt-right. And also, Pepe the Frog is associated with an Egyptian god named Kek. It's a bringer of chaos and darkness and wants to destroy the existing order to bring in a new world order. Of course, Freemasonry is deeply connected to the Egyptian mystery schools. So, you know, I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs out of the mouth of the dragon, out of the mouth of the beast. I don't know, is the frogs a bit of a stretch? Maybe, maybe not. So then we have 16:14, the next line. For they are the spirits of devils. That's the 3 unclean spirits like frogs, right? For they are the spirits of devils working miracles which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world to gather them to the battle of that great day of God Almighty. So you could say that these 3 people taking over the social media sites, they are the spirits of devils and they go forth over the whole world to gather them to battle. So to gather people, so social media sites, communication, gathering people together to gather them to battle of that great day of the God Almighty. So they gather people to battle. So like I've said before, much of the CO network seems to be intent on antagonizing and riling the masses up. They want to create chaos because they want to create order out of that chaos. So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that this is the case. I'm just exploring these issues. Some people claim that these things are happening by design. You know, some say it's just happening naturally. The Kanye West thing, what was he doing yesterday? He put a video out where he said he'd been called by God to call out the likes of George Soros. He'd been called by God. That's what he said. This is done, I believe, in an attempt to make him seem more authentic. If these are false apostles, then they are going to do everything they can to trick you into believing they are for real. So they need to say and do things to get people to follow them and believe them. He says he was called by God. I expect to see a lot more of these celebrities start talking God, Jesus, the Bible as time goes on, as things get more crazy. Like I said, you need to turbocharge your discernment and remember, you know, like Kanye West yesterday, if it's being transmitted across the mainstream media, it's because they want you to see it. Let us know what you think in the comments. As always, thanks for listening. Comment, subscribe to the website hugotalks.com so you can be notified of all videos when I upload them, and I'll see you later.